Hi, I'm Tim,
I'm Lizzie.
and we are
Or not.
To Play, a show about board games for two players.
Whose tastes might differ.
Hello, and welcome to another shelf by shelf assessment of our collection. Vera is off out again. She's actually on holiday with her friends for the weekend, so I'll do a quick couple of cubes one by one. And today we're on the first of the Days of Wonder shelf. I did do this video last week, funnily enough, but since then I've rearranged these shelves into kind of colour matching. So these are kind of bluish, these are beige, and then it goes on to sort of various greens and reds. But so I did do the shelf previously and it had Memoir 44 and Shadows over Camelot on it. And I thought, oh, I've done it, but now I've rearranged it, so I best redo it, I guess. So this is shelf or cube 1, 2, 3, 4, but the first of the Days of Wonders. So straight to it then. So on the top we have Ticket to Ride. Now I'm guessing probably a lot of you have played and seen these games. Even kind of non-gamers would have played these Ticket to Ride games, a bit like kind of Monopoly, really. It's that kind of level of game. It's readily available in shops these days. What a lovely game this is. This is the Ticket to Ride Europe version. Bear and I both love this game a lot. Sadly we haven't played it a lot recently because we've been so busy reviewing new games, and we were chatting about that recently, that we play new games and try and review them as much as we can for our channel, that we don't tend to get the chance to play games that we like, you know, from our past played games that we want to play again. So we'll have to remedy that. We'll have to try and create some more time. Not sure how. A word with Doc Brown. Anyway, so yeah, great little games. Kind of like a rummy set collection type game of cards, and then when you collect those cards, you lay them down, and that gives you the chance to lay these trains across the board, and then you join up routes that you're trying to kind of claim, if you like. You get little cards of routes that you want to try and complete, and they give you bonus points at the end of the game if you complete them and stuff like that. Really lovely, easy game to describe, to explain to people. Easy game to play, you know, very easy to grasp the concept of what you're doing. Lovely little game. So Ticket to Ride, obviously one of the biggest names that Days of Wonder have out there. You've probably played it. If not, definitely buy it. Really lovely game. Okay, so carrying on with the Days of Wonder themes, so we'll go to this next one, and this is probably one of my favourite games. I think this is my number one game on our top 10, maybe. I don't know, you have to watch it to check that's true. Small World, what a fantastic game. Again, Bear likes this one as well as me. Not as well as me, but as you know, with me too. But I think I like this slightly better than her. So this is basically a kind of area majority type board game where if you know the game Risk from back in the day, which is still available by the way, it's that kind of thing where you kind of try and sweep across the board, the map, by conquering the neighbouring areas by area majority, really, or troop majority. So that, you know, the biggest troop wins, moves in, and then you area control that and spread across the board in that way. This has a nice little twist, two nice little twists actually, on that kind of general way of playing, and that is there are asymmetric powers. This is a thing, it's a phrase you might hear, which basically means that each player has a different skill set, and that kind of works out by, there are these little kind of race, as in breed race, you know, like the human race and the elf race, that sort of race, as opposed to running race. There are these race cards, and they match up with skills and abilities and things like that, magic techniques and stuff. So you match these up randomly, you shuffle them up and match them up, and then they all come out differently. So every game is different, and that's what they call asymmetric. Every race, every player in that case, has different powers and skills. And you choose these according to how they come out and whether you want to pay for them or get the free one and so on. And then you use these for a while. So you might have flying wizards, or you know, it might mix up and say flying halflings or flying ratmen or whatever. So the flying thing is separate to the ratmen thing, and then that might actually shuffle up next game when you play, and it be flying wizards, as I say, you know, or the ratmen might become I can't remember all the different things now. It's been a while since we played, but you get the idea. They're random, and so you use those for a certain period of time, but they get kind of spread a bit thinly across the board. Spread. Never heard that before. It's me. So get spread thinly across the board, and then you go into decline, which is where basically you rest your race, because they're too sort of spread across the board. You can't kind of conquer again because you've got not enough sort of men left to do it, and so they go into decline, which means they just kind of fade away really, and you start a new race. You grab another set of cards, and off you go, and you play that game, just changing the races as you go. You play over a certain number of rounds and so on, and that's that. Really good game. So that's the two weird things: is the asymmetric races, and then the going into decline. Very unusual things. Really lovely game. Thoroughly recommend this. If you've not played this, find it, play it. And there's a new version come out. It's called Small World of Warcraft. So if you like that kind of Warcrafty theme, they've done like a paste over of the Warcraft theme with all the races and stuff in there. Smashing game. Love that game. So it's probably my favourite game in the world, but it's certainly my favourite Days of Wonder game. Okay, moving along. This is Quadropolis. So this is like a city building tile laying game. So you have a grid basically that you're trying to populate with buildings, and you get bonuses for buildings being adjacent to other buildings and so on. Very simple concept again. So you each have your own sort of player board that you're trying to populate from this, and then you're moving into the central board and so on. I've not played this, neither has Bear, so this is one that we're kind of itching to get out and play. Well, I am. Don't know about Bear so much. So we've got yet to play this one, but another lovely production again, as always with Days of Wonder. That's the one thing that I will say about all these Days of Wonder games: are massively well produced, really thick card stock and tiles and so on, and the illustrations are lovely. But this is very nice, simple sort of tile laying game. Not played it, can't wait. Okay, moving on. 5 Tribes. So again, a very well-known Days of Wonder game. This is by Bruno Catala. This is kind of one of his big well-known games. Smashing again production, loads of meeples that you get that you can spread across the board, and this is kind of like a set collection area majority type game. Again, not played this. Really itching to play this. Again, it's kind of quite, looking at the layout and the way that it plays, it's quite overwhelming for Bear to think, oh yeah, let's just go on with that and play it. But I'm sure she'll enjoy it. So we've got to get this one to the table. So if there's anyone out there that's played this and would say yes, definitely play it, please comment below, because that will encourage Bear to get on it. And if you want us to review it, obviously ask, and again that will encourage us to play. 5 Tribes, again, apparently a really good game. Looking forward to playing this one immensely at some point. And finally on this shelf, so this is like the blue shelf done really. Blue, deep blue. This is a fairly new one, came out a couple of years ago. It's got kind of mixed reviews as to whether or not it's a classic Days of Wonder game. The production is just incredible. It's a really gorgeous board, lovely sort of oceanic sort of landscape, islands and seascape and so on. And the idea is there are kind of hidden treasures on tiles that are turned face down, and you start down in the corner with your little boat and you kind of sail off to various dive locations, and you basically excuse me, you dive trying to find treasure. And if you're adjacent to a dive that's occurring, that somebody else is diving, you can just move into their dive area and sort of jump on board their dive, and it's basically a hand in a bag pulling out treasures. But obviously in the bag, as you pull out the treasures, there are also perils, and they are sea monsters and lack of oxygen. So you're down on the dive, you pull out a sea monster, ooh, could kill the dive right now. If you pull out an oxygen oxygen usage, it is kind of like a use up your oxygen, you only get sort of the monsters and the oxygen, you only get kind of 2 hits on that, and then it's game over. That dive is finished. So it's kind of a push your luck thing. So whoever's running that dive, pulling out until they kind of, oh, I'm not going to risk any more, and I want to stop, and you count out your treasures and everyone shares out the spoils. But if you push it too far and you get too many monsters or too many oxygen warnings, the dive ends and nobody gets anything. So it's a real kind of push your lucky thing. And the reason people sometimes give it a bit of a slating is the person running the dive is who's in charge of whether or not to end the dive, and so you're kind of at their mercy basically. But it's fun because the way that we play it when we played it is you kind of just you shout, no, don't end now, you got to keep going, or end. You're in charge of encouraging them to do or not do further diving. So it's part. I think it's part of the fun. Some people have slagged off saying you're not in charge of your own pushing your luck, and they are. But just getting involved, encourage them or discourage them from carrying on. It's great fun. Again, I only played this with my game club as a 5-player, and it was great fun. We've not played it as a 2-player with me and Bear, so I need to get that to the table with her. So again, if you played it as a 2-player, please say in the comments, and encourage Bear to jump on board. Oh, please yourself. Anyway, so a beautiful production. Thoroughly recommend this game myself. But check out some reviews. In fact, we'll do a review once we've played it and see whether or not it's worth it as a 2-player game. But I thoroughly recommend this game. Superb and lovely production. And that is that first shelf of Days of Wonder done. So we will move across to this next one next time. But thanks for watching this one, and hopefully there's some games there that give you an idea that you'll fancy those. Sorry, I was just distracted by a butterfly about to come in then. Beautiful. Summer's here. Anyway, I'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll catch you on the next one.